Welcome, it's August 22 and it's quarantine yoga with Minik and Martin. It is not the daily quarantine yoga anymore, it's sort of the occasional quarantine yoga. We'll have to change that on our Facebook page. So we'll call it occasional quarantine yoga or something like that. We'll see. Just because we are doing some sort of yoga or exercise, flexibility exercise every day. But as we said before, we're finding it kind of difficult to do the uploading constantly from home. It takes an awful long time, and we have to be here to keep pressing a button so
We're
that the
also
computer
having
doesn't
some
turn off.
vacation now that it's the end of summer. We're paddling and doing other things too. Working and paddling and going out, and so it's harder to fit it into.
Yeah, a little bit harder. And it's starting to rain and get cool and buggy, so we got to pick times to do this.
This is a good time.
Yeah, morning on a Saturday is a gorgeous time. And the fire alarm across the road turned off, so we've got silence again, except for the bugs.
No, it was the
That wasn't the fire alarm.
security
Yeah,
alarm.
security alarm. Yeah, 7 o'clock. Wah, 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 wah. My gosh, really? On a Saturday? Anyway, sit up nice and tall. Rest your hands on your knees or put them into your lap. Center yourself, which means simply stretch your head up. Release. Find the natural curves. Settle down into them and then mentally come to where you are. Stop thinking about what else is going to happen today, what you did yesterday, and just come to sensing where you are seated, what you are seated on, what you are seated around, and to your own body and your breath. We'll start with a full yoga breathing where you relax your belly, it falls forward, it fills, and you push your ribs out, and then you slightly lift your collarbones to fill that last little bit of lung. And do that 5 times at your own pace. Now we're going to continue doing the same thing. Only I'll have to wait for the truck to go by. Only when you're inhaling, tap vigorously with your fingertips on your sternum, and when you're exhaling, slap. Just to open up the lungs, to clear out phlegm. But still the same sort of 3-part inhale. And again 5 times. Good. And now we're going to slowly find our way to standing. I'm going to start with some standing poses. So at the front of your mat, spin your arms up Unless you're staring into the blinding sun, look up at your hands. And on the exhale, just bring your hands back down. Do it again. As you inhale, reach up. Think about lengthening your body, extending in a straight line up. On the exhale, settle back down into your natural curves. Bring your arms down. Try to adjust your posture on the way up and down. And slowly work your way into a natural upright standing posture. One more time. Then hold that natural upright standing posture in mountain pose. Sense where your hips are over your ankles, where your shoulders are over your hips. Your head is balanced over your shoulders. If everything is even on the right and left side, more weight on one foot than the other. Cycle through your body. Try to arrange everything so it's as even as you can feel it to be. If you're standing and looking in a mirror, you can also check to see if you're even. Otherwise, try to just do it by feel. Often we hold one shoulder higher than the other. We squeeze one side, let the other one go down. See if you can sense that you're doing that. I tend to have the left shoulder lower. Which is probably conditioning from years of playing the violin on the left shoulder. And release. Bring your feet hip-width apart. Hands on hips. Inhale, lean forward. Come to either a right angle so your torso is as parallel with the floor as you can get it. You can drop your hands to your shins and gently push on your shins to remind yourself to keep a long torso extending out the crown of your head. Your knees have a micro bend in them so that you don't strain. As you squeeze your core and slowly slide your hands down your shins. If, like for us, it's early morning, you're going to find you're not as flexible as you are late at night. It's totally normal. Don't push it. I forgot to turn on the clock. Add, 5 minutes?
You can. Add 9 minutes.
9 minutes, wow, okay. Yeah.
Maybe 8, because the first minute was us waiting for a truck to go by.
Okay. And release. Bend your knees, come back up to standing. We'll do triangle pose. Left foot stays in front, right foot comes back. Turn to the side. Inhale, raise your arms, gently bend your left knee as you tilt down. And then open up and straighten the left leg. Exhale, look down, soften the front leg, step to the front, repeat on the other side. Do it by yourself. You don't need me to talk you through everything anymore. back up to standing. You know, construction season has restarted. Jeepers. Truck after truck this morning.
Yeah, but they're going right past it, not stopping here and picking stuff up. So.
Still. Extended triangle. Step back with the right foot a long, long pace. Bend the left knee, left arm over, turn to the side. Raise the right arm overhead if it's comfortable for you and stretch long between fingertips and edge of right foot. If you like, take your right arm, snake it around your back and try to grip the inside of your left thigh. And release. Step back to the front. And let's repeat on the other side. Remember, a long step, long pace is what's needed here. Try not to let your knee go beyond your ankle. Look down and make sure your shin is vertical. And again, if you like, wrap your left arm behind, grab your right inner thigh. And release. Step back to the front. After 2 hours of paddling, those shoulder stretches are feeling quite nice. We're going to do the wide angle side bend. I think that's what it's called. I'll have to look up the name again. Step back with the left foot, turn yourself to the side of your mat, and come out into something that's starting to feel like splits. Tip your toes in a little bit, so you're a little bit duck-footed, hands on hips. Inhale, look up. Really lift your chin. Exhale, fold forward. Fingertips to the floor. And here we're going to do some cat-cows. With the inhale, the belly drops, the tailbone points up. The exhale, you arch through your back. One more. And come back to table. And if there's space in your hips, to come down a little bit farther, slide your hands back so your fingertips are in line with your toe tips. Squeeze your core, drop your head and release. Inhale, come back to table pose. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. And inhale, lead with the back of your head, come all the way up. Heel toe in a little bit to relieve the tension in the hips and step back to the front. Now inhale, step back with the right. Bring the knee down to the ground, point the foot away. Come to a point where the left chin is vertical and the right knee is as far back as is comfortable. So you're in a high lunge with the knee on the ground. Raise your hands up. Encourage your hips to sink down and forward. Turn now to To the right, drop your hands, aim the fingertips at the floor and try to sink down till your fingers touch. Keep your torso vertical. You're stretching for the ground with your fingertips. Release. Bring your hands to the floor, either side of the left foot, and then slide your hips back. The left heel comes up off the ground. Straighten the leg and lean down over it. To be a big tug in your hamstring here. Your heel is anchored on the ground and you're getting a nice stretch all the way up the back of the left leg. And release. Bring your hands back to the front. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot forward. And we'll set it up the same way. The right shin is vertical. The left knee is as far back as is comfortable. Come up first to a high lunge. Bring your hands overhead. Try to find your balance here. Feel your weight sinking down. And drop the hands down to the inside, so to the left. Your torso stays vertical. Your hands are reaching for the ground. To get there, you've got to slide forwards and down. Keep the crown of the head, though, reaching up towards the ceiling. And release. Bring the hands to either side of the front foot. Slide your hips back. Come up on your heel on the right side and stretch. Lean down over your leg. Pull the right foot back, come to table pose, and come back on your heels. Sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to be stretching the fronts of our legs. If your knees and your ankles are not happy with a lot of pressure, then you do this on your back. Remember, we're stretching the front of the, on your belly. So you lay on your belly and you reach around, grab the ankle and pull it in. We're going to be doing a double leg stretch. You can also do the single leg. So you pick an option that works for you where you're stretching the front of your thighs. When you lean back, don't try to come all the way down to the ground. Rather start lifting your hips and tilting your tailbone under. That will get you a stretch of the thighs, whereas leaning down all the way to the ground will lift your knees off the ground, but it might also crunch your lower back. You want to avoid that at all costs. Once the thighs have opened up and the hips have been raised, feel free to drop your head and bring the crown of your head to the ground. That feels quite nice.
I've got my thumbs behind my, like right here, behind my sacrum.
Yeah?
And it seems to help me
Lift.
push. Yeah, it's helping me lift.
Oh, nice.
Is that okay?
I'm not sure if everybody heard that. Monique put her thumbs in her sacrum and pushed up. I don't see why you shouldn't do that. If it feels good, if it relieves tension somewhere, it's a great idea.
The hummingbird on the line.
Hummingbird on the line?
Yeah, is it on the line right over my foot?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Did you make more food?
No, I got to this morning. I have to. Hummingbird food this morning.
And release. Gosh, I could stay there all day. No, I actually couldn't.
No, I couldn't. But it was kind of nice. We were leaning back, and I could see the hummingbird on the line over my head, sitting on one of the lines for the tent.
Cross your ankles, come to seated. It is a nice posture. I don't do inversions where I put pressure on the top of my head anymore, and that's a nice pressure point. It's one of the chakras if you go for that kind of thing, like right on the top of the head. And that's why the headstands are known for being very invigorating. But I don't do headstands anymore. But if I can
Good
do
at
that
them,
and
though.
put pressure on the top, yeah, I can do a great headstand.
Very good with it.
We're also on a motorcycle route, it seems. We like to go by a lot. Good. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit, do something for our back. Come to lying on your stomach. We're going to start just with a simple Sphinx pose. But we'll move very quickly to Cobra. Hands where your elbows were. Keep your head low, roll your shoulders open, elbows back, lift your torso and then your head. Remember, the spot beneath your belly button stays in contact with the floor. Don't lift yourself all the way up. You'll want to curl up, not lift up. And release, put your head on your hands, roll your hips side to side.
Do not look into the sun, right?
Do not look into the sun, no.
Okay,
Close your
good.
eyes.
Good.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
It's not
very
hot
bright
outside,
here.
but staring into the sun, I'm sweating.
Yeah. Don't
It's
stare
still-
into the sun. Close
It's still
your
a
eyes.
warm, yeah. Okay, but my face is still looking sun. It's a
Yeah.
warm sun. It's
Yeah.
still, it's not yet late fall.
Yeah.
Now take your hands, make fists out of them, and put them underneath your thigh. So your arms are long, your shoulders are sort of tucked underneath you, your chin is on the ground. And then lift both legs.
Put your head face down.
Yeah. And put it back down. Take a break again. Maybe I should do that sideways to demonstrate. I'm not sure if people can actually see what's happening. What do you think?
Sure.
I'll do that sideways once to demonstrate exactly what I'm doing.
It's not as comfortable for women, just so you know.
Well, it all depends on the build.
That's right.
So,
Just saying. Just giving you another perspective. I'll sit while you do it.
so I sort of roll side to side. I put my hands as fists underneath my thighs. Chin is on the ground, shoulders tucked under. So I'm really lying on my arms, not on my chest. And then lift the legs. And come down. Try it again.
Okay.
It's not the world's most comfortable pose.
No, it's just for women. It's not quite the same because you're kind of squishing yourself into the ground.
I know.
In an uncomfortable way.
But that's why you want to really make like two rails out of your arms so that you're actually on your arms. That's it. Excellent. That's called locust pose. And there's a fine locust right here. And then come back to seated.
Was that me or an actual locust?
It was you, actually.
Oh, okay. We've had a heck of a lot of crickets in our tent.
And let's do a twist. Left leg long, right leg crosses. Grab the right knee with the left elbow. Right hand comes in behind. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze that knee across the midline and turn to the side. And inhale to the front. Lately it seems it's too much work for the employees at the pit to walk from place to place, so they bought themselves a golf cart.
Oh, that golf cart's been there forever.
Forever?
Yeah, they've
Okay.
used that forever.
Squeeze the left knee in, sit up tall, fingertips in behind. I wish I would use segways. That would be so much cooler.
Yeah, but it's gravel.
So a Segway can cross gravel, I'm sure of it.
Does it? Oh.
I've seen them on cobblestones in Europe, so.
Oh.
I heard Segway's going out of business, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Too many people falling off cliffs?
Nobody took it up.
Yeah.
And those little tiny scooters are so much cheaper. This would have been the death knell for the Segway. And release.
Well, Segway just looks silly. It looks like I should be walking, but I'm not.
Well, I think the death knell was that the tourist industry took it on as a niche way to give tours, but then they forced everybody to wear helmets, and then everybody looked like a idiot. And then you didn't want to have one of those. I don't know. I've never been on a Segway. Feet together, lift your hips, bring them forward, hold onto your feet and release, relax. The other people that used them were employees in airports. I've seen them there too. Well, the thing too is if you make somebody wear a helmet when you're on the Segway, then you have this feeling that the Segway is not safe.
Yeah.
You know, we know that a bicycle you can crash because it relies on you for balance, but the Segway is supposed to be able to rely on itself for balance. And it's supposed to automatically keep you safe by keeping you balanced. If they suddenly say, well, you have to wear a helmet just in case it fails, well, then why would I buy it? Anyway, that's all my philosophizing on Segways for the day. Lean forward, keep your knees opening. If it's more comfortable, you open your feet like a book, the edges of your feet press into each other. Inhale, come up. Let's stretch out our legs and do a pose we don't often do. It often gets skipped. It's basically just sitting straight. So lift the crown of the head. Your legs are stretched out in front of you, totally straight. Fingertips are in line with the back edge of your butt, basically. Shoulders roll open, lift the collarbones. Sit tall. Let your chin settle down and breathe deep into your belly. Now keep that exact same posture as you release your hands from behind you and stretch them overhead. And then lean forward. Reach for the wall beyond your feet. Keep stretching, squeezing your core, and then finally drop your hands and grab whatever there is as an anchor. Extend through the crown of the head and just hang out here. As things open, you can move your anchor point, stretch some more. Sit back up nice and tall. Now collapse through your core and roll down into your back. Oh, get totally blinded on the way down. And stretch out for corpse pose. Pollen. Slowly bring some feeling back to your fingers and toes. Roll your wrists and your ankles, your hips, your knees, your shoulders. Reach overhead, pull in your knees, roll on your back, and come over to your right hand side. push your way to seated. Cross your ankles the way that's unusual for you. Rest your hands on your knees or in your lap. Inhale, stretch out again. Reach your crown up towards the ceiling. Next inhale, bring your hands together. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining us on this sunny Saturday.
Thank you.
And we will see you again.
Yep.
Have a nice weekend. Oh, we may see you tomorrow.
Yep.
Depends on the weather.
Yeah.
And
You know
other
what?
things.
Actually, we've got a clean kitchen.
We have a clean
We
kitchen?
have a clean kitchen right
Mhm.
now because we're setting up for tiles next week. So if we give that a little sweep, you could do it in there.
It's raining? Okay, cool.